Well, good morning and welcome to another little video for the Suicide and Spirituality project. This one I thought I'd talk about attack and defense because it's one of the things that the ego, which is our earthly guide, our worldly guide, albeit a very bad, very corrupted guide, likes to use to justify our position as, let's say, this body, this vessel, in denial of the fact that we are spirit using a vessel, right? So it projects the identity or your identity onto the body. So you say my body, my clothes, my house, my car, instead of the clothes, the house, the car, etc. Right, now nobody gets into their car like I am now driving, and or into the car. It's tricky. Nobody gets into the car and goes, I am a car. Right, you know that it's just a vessel, and that when you reach your destination you get out of it. Same with the body. The body is just a vessel. When you've achieved your earthly assignment, if you want to call it that, then you get out of it. But attack and defense is one of the ways that you stay in it. Right now, in a singular reality, in a singular perception, in a singular altruistic view of the world, there is nothing to defend against, because I'm only defending myself against myself. Can you hear that? Right, if everything is one, right, like Bob Marley songs, we're all one, you know, one love, one heart, da 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 da. Not much of a singer, but in a situation wherein we are all one, which we are, there is nothing to defend against. Right? It's only in separation. It's only when I think I am the body and think that I am separate from other bodies that I set up this sort of regime of my possessions and my things that need to be defended and my points of view that are justified. It's like, well, none of my points of views are justified if I don't know what I am, why I am here, or what I'm doing on this planet, or how I got here, etc. Oh, big truck. So defending a perspective or defending a position, physical, emotional, whatever, that is based on ignorance is kind of insane. Right? So, and it's ignorance in the true sense. Someone smacks you on the bum when you're a baby, you start to breathe, and you have this complete amnesia. You don't know why you're here, what you're here to do. You just follow along with everybody else. Everyone's getting a job and getting old and getting sick and dying. I think I'll just do that too. And there are very few who question deep enough to begin to put to rest that ignorance and to begin to illuminate the mind as to its true purpose and its reason for being here. Now, if you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling like you can't take this stupid world anymore and you're sick and tired of getting the results of your own thinking, right, which is, oh God, what an arsehole I am, or what a victim I am, or whatever, right? It goes broad spectrum. I could go on about that forever. But if you're sick and tired of getting the results of your own thinking, then you know, you're probably on the cusp of beginning to either answer those questions about why you're here, what the meaning of life is, etc., or you're probably putting a rope around your neck. And these videos I make specifically to help you answer the questions so that you don't put a rope around your neck. Right? I've been there, I've done that, didn't work, I'm back. I'm back. So attack and defense. You are a child of God. You are perfectly innocent, right? And I can call that a creation of God, whatever. If you have issues with the word God, you are part of the eternal mind. You are a whole and equal part of all that is. Right? But you have no guilt. A dream cannot tell you what you are, and you're going to have to take it from me for a second. This is a dream, an illusion, right? The Hindus call it the Maya, the Buddhists call it just the mind. It's only us dumb Christians that think that God created the world in 7 days. It's like, well, God has no clue about the world. Right? Luckily, we have Jesus and Krishna and Buddha and intermediaries who seem to know what's going on, but God just is. Right? God is the creative source of all that is. God does not have selective will. God just is, ever creating, ever extending, and you as part of that, right? And you are guiltless, right? Now, a guiltless being, a guiltless child, a guiltless person, a guiltless whatever, does not need to defend itself from accusation, from poverty, from whatever. Okay? Try to get a sense of that. An innocent man needs no defense. So, and if you feel that you need to attack someone, then you're only really attacking yourself. You're attacking ideas that you disagree with in your own mind. You're attempting to do it externally, but the ideas still remain in your mind. Right? The reason that you feel like attacking someone or taking revenge or whatever is because of thoughts in your head that tell you to do it, not because something going on out there. Can you hear that? All right? There is nothing going on out in the physical plane. There's no one to defend against, no one to attack. Live and let live is the mantle of operation. Right? Live and let live is a beautiful admonition. And when you learn how to use the principles of tolerance, patience, forgiveness, self-acceptance, giving and receiving, and all these sorts of things that are entwined within the spiritual path, let's say, then you will be able to come to a clearer understanding of what the fuck you're doing here, what your purpose is, and how to use your mind. Right? Your mind is just not this random thing that says, oh, I feel like sex, or I feel like a beer, or I feel like I need a pay rise, or I feel like that person's an arsehole, or whatever. That's judgment. That's the ego's call, right? We are capable of so much more. Just because we were taught in school, in the home, and we are taught through our media and interactions with others that the good, bad, right and wrong dualistic thought system is a worthy thought system for us, doesn't mean we have to believe it. It's fucking bullshit. It's just judgment. You cannot have good without the bad, right? So as soon as I say, oh, that's a good person, then automatically I manifest an idea of what's not a good person to justify that. Right? Same thing, sickness and health. I don't want to be sick or healthy. Not interested in either of those perspectives, because if I'm working hard to be healthy, then I'm also working hard to nurture the same idea of sickness that I'm trying to defend myself from by being healthy. Can you hear that? It's duality. The yin and the yang come together. Heads and the tails, both sides of the coin. You cannot have one without the other, and if you think you can, just sit and watch your thinking for a little while and see what happens. You have to let go of that way of thinking entirely, that duality, that good and bad and mine and yours bullshit, and just see that everything just is. Right? The world has no meaning whatsoever. None. I have to give it a meaning for it to mean something to me. You know, this curly shell that I found on the beach the other day, sea worm thing. What does it mean? Nothing. But yet I give it all meaning. Oh, that's my curly shell. I found it. It's not mine. It belongs to the beach. You know, it's part of the system of the ecosystem somehow. It creates sand and breaks down. You know, so attack and defense. I'm only ever defending something that's not true about myself. Right? My whole world is based on a lie that I tell myself to maintain the illusion or the deception that I am this body that's going to get old and die, so I can feel like I'm part of the rest of it, where everyone else thinks that they're all going to get old and die. And then we have this contradictory sort of paradoxical situation, but oh, we don't die, we go to heaven or hell or whatever, which is bullshit. This is hell and this is heaven right here and now. Right? how you use your mind determines the state of mind that you find yourself in. Am I forgiving? Am I loving? Am I tolerant with others? Patient with others and myself? And all of that stuff? If so, then my life will proceed along those lines. Am I angry and grumpy and fucked off by the world and everyone and everything in it? Then you get the results of your thinking that way. What you put out, you do get back, right? It may not come back in a tit-for-tat form, but it will come back as something, right? It's just energy. Try to understand that. Your mind is a powerful tool that projects out onto the world our fears or our loves, right? I will either see love or I will see my own call for love. If you're a Course in Miracles student, that will be a familiar idea to you, right? And I always recommend that book, right? Jump on Google, look up A Course in Miracles or ACIM and order yourself a copy. I guarantee you it'll do a much better job of explaining what I'm trying to explain now. Okay, so anyway, I think that's about it. If I judge someone, I'm only judging myself. Remember, the world is my mirror, and if I attack someone, I'm attacking myself. If I defend myself against something out there, then it's me who's given all the meaning that it has to that something out there, in failure to recognize or in denial of the fact that I'm whole and perfect. I do not need a defense. Right? And as I stand in my defenselessness and allow the miraculous nature of the reassociation of my thinking to kick in for me, right? And you can call that miracle mindedness if you want, then I will begin to see changes in not only my state of mind here, right, which will bring me more peace, but also in the world around me and out there. All right, I love you, and really buy that book, $25. It'll be the best investment you've ever made in your entire life. Don't follow the crowd, be your own power. All right, I love you, and catch you later.